Okay, I was strolling up on social media like I do all the time that you get so tired of. And I came across this question. Can your partner, doesn't matter if they're married, well, I guess let me say, I want two responses. If they're married and if they're just together, and they both living in the same household. Can your partner have a best friend of the opposite sex? Why or why not?
So if they're not married, is that correct?
Or both. If they're not married or if they're married. Just give examples or your reason around both.
Okay. So if they're not married, I would say, yes, that's fine. You can be friends with anyone that you choose, but
No, we're talking about best friends now. Best friends, you do everything together.
Yeah, but they're not married. Okay. Neither party is married, so they have that freedom to do that.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't say issue, but I would just say the consideration would come in when one or both get married. Because at that point in time, you have to obviously change your focus to your spouse, and then there has to be boundaries set between the two.
Okay, now does it matter if, like I said, they've been married, not married, but friends since childhood? They grew up together, their parents hung out together, and they grew up like brothers and sisters, but they consider each other best friends. Does that take it into fact or any consideration?
Personally speaking, or just generally speaking?
Just generally right now.
Generally speaking, I would say you still have to set those boundaries. I don't care how long you all have been friends. Now you have your life partner on, whomever side has come into the picture, and that has to be considered. So I don't care how long the friendship has been. I don't care, how they were, brother, sister, whatever. Mm-hmm. That still has to be considered, and those boundaries still have to be set, because that other person, that spouse now, has to be considered.
So you talk about now if one person got married and the other person didn't, but they still...
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, what if both of them was married, but they still considered the other, as their best friend, and they both married?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But even spouses know about each other.
Yeah, and that's fine, because I'm sure the spouses would know about one another, but again, boundaries would have to be set.
Okay, now what type of boundaries are you talking about?
So whereas they both were not married, right, and they went and they did everything together, they spent, a copious amount of time together. Now they both have spouses, to which some of that time is now going to have to be spent with their spouses. Boundaries set in the fact of, or the sense of, you got to watch when you're calling them, when you're texting them, things of that nature.
Okay. As your husband, can I have a best friend that is of the opposite sex?
No.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Right off the bat, no explanation,
nope.
Just straight up no.
No. Because one, I should be your best friend. Like you and I are really good friends. And then two, I just feel as if I just would not be comfortable with that. Okay. Do I trust you? Yes, but I would just not be comfortable with that.
Okay, with that said, thanks for tuning in to our very first episode of Talkin Jack and Jill with the Adams. We are your hosts. I am D'Angelo, and to my left is my lovely wife.
My name is Lakeisha. Hi, everybody.
And if you like what you're hearing so far, just go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, so make sure you comment and share our videos.
Please.
And with that, we're going to get back into this question, but so it's a straight off no with me. I can't have no best friend that's a female.
I would prefer not. Now I'm going to ask you the same question.
Okay, wait a minute. Before I come on you though.
Okay.
So I'm like, this person, we grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
She my road dog, we did everything together, and we never crossed that line ever. And now that you're my wife, so you still have an issue with that.
Yeah, I would just prefer to be involved and included, because now I'm a piece of that pie, right? So
okay, but who to say you wouldn't be involved? You have friends that you go out with, and I don't tag along.
They're not guys though.
I guess you kind of got me there, bro.
Right.
Well, yeah, you kind of got me.
Right.
So, but I think I'm shooting myself in the foot here.
Yeah, he is.
So in that case, then I guess I can see where there could be a problem, but
now it doesn't necessarily have to be a problem, but I'm just saying, personally speaking, that would be something that I would not like.
Mm-hmm. So what would make you so uncomfortable with me having a best friend? Take the woman out of it. It just, what will make you so uncomfortable? It's just because she's a woman. That's
what I was gonna say. That's the factor for me, is that she's a female. So I think, again, for me, I should be your best friend, and I don't want you sharing things with her that you should be sharing with me. And I don't know. I would just be wondering why you're with, spending time with this person. I mean, I get it. It would be your friend or whatever. I don't know. I would just have an issue with it.
Okay, well, so don't you share stuff with your friends? I don't care. Maybe female, but don't you share some with your friends that you don't share with me?
Not really, no.
So there's never been a time where you share something with others that you have never shared with me?
No, because I try to tell you everything, but I think the factor in this is the fact that she's a female. So we're talking opposite sex. That's my issue. Now, yeah, you have best friends that are males, right? Like, that's not an issue. But again, when we go to the female piece of it, like, that's where I'm like, oh, I cringe on that.
Okay, but what, I have never shown, I ain't gonna say me, but what if somebody has never shown an issue, like a desire, or when talking about this person to you or to her spouse, they never say, oh, she looked good in this dress she was wearing to this party with to see Bob or whoever, but they never express any kind of interest ever in maybe possibly hooking up with them, even if they wasn't married or with you. Is that still an issue?
I mean, no, that's a good thing, right? I mean, that's how
it should be, but
I would feel, I guess the best way that I can put it is I would just feel uncomfortable with that, because then, like, I would always be wondering, like, I don't know. I guess I would just always be wondering, like, what is he talking to her about that he can't talk to me about, like, things like that.
But why it has to be that? Why do I have to be, or that person has to be, telling secrets or problems that you may be having in your own relationship? Yeah. But if that's your best friend, you should be able to do that too and not be an issue, right?
I mean, if that's your best friend, but I'm just saying, for me, I would have it. That would be a hard pill for me to swallow if you had a female best friend.
Very hard pill.
Very hard for me to swallow.
Oh, okay. There you have it. Please chime in the comments of what you think. Maybe you went through this situation and you know somebody, or let us know. But
I would love to hear your thoughts.
Oh, yes. Definitely love to hear your thoughts. But if the situation were reversed, no, I wouldn't want you having a male friend. Because as a guy, I know what guys think. And you're a very attractive woman, of course. And I'm pretty sure that probably crossed that person's mind.
But to that point, like, in all transparency, I would feel the same way with you. Like, you're handsome, so I would be like, So would you not trust me or the other person? Very great question. I would definitely trust you, but I know that there is room for error.
You hear the hesitation in her voice? I would trust you, but
I don't know. It would just always there would just always be a question for me.
Oh, okay. I can see that. Okay. All right. Second question. Now, do you believe in the term work spouse when it comes to employment? Say I'm at the job or you at the job, and you've been at the job for quite some time now, and you have a coworker who says, "Oh, that's my work husband. That's my work wife." Is that the same thing? Obviously, not the same thing as having the best friend, as opposite. But would that be cause for concern in your relationship if you found out, oh, my husband or my wife or my partner got somebody they call a work spouse at work?
Yeah, I would have issue with that.
Okay.
Because one, what you consider to be innocent and like playful, that other person may not take it that way, and then like bounds or lines may be crossed. And then I just think too that you have to be careful about, even though you're playing and joking and having a good time, I think you just have to be careful with what you're inviting into your marriage, just because, again, something that you may think is so innocent, they may not think that. And then, y'all calling each other that, over time, that person may develop feelings for you.
So if I got injured on the job and this person called you, say, hey, this is such and such, I work with your husband, he got hurt, but I took him to the emergency care, I'm what they call, they work spouse, we always get along, but I just called you to let me know he was here. Now, would you be concerned for me at the time, or would you be upset with the employer?
Well, both, because I'm gonna give it to her in a nice way, I guess. But then
wait a minute. What would you say? I want to hear this. What would you say?
No, I don't know. I would just correct her, like, no, he only has one spouse. Thank you. And then I would just question, why was I not called prior to you taking him to the emergency care? And then two, once I know that you're okay, you and I are going to have a conversation about this person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Needless to say, that's not going to happen, because I don't have no work spouse or nothing like that at my job. And I know she don't, because she work from home. But
All right. That's true.
Okay. Anyway, but you would see a problem with that?
I do.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think it could be innocent. You just joking around. If you never see this person outside of work, like y'all don't talk on the phone. The only conversation y'all have or contact y'all have is at work and during working hours. You just playing around, just to have fun and keep the fun atmosphere at work. But I don't do that. I don't do that because, I'm in my own little cubby in my room at work, so I don't mess with nobody. But no, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, that's just me. I mean, but I don't call nobody my work spouse like that. That's just something me personally I don't do, but I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay, so he doesn't see anything wrong with it. So someone can call me their work wife then.
I didn't say what about you. Well, since you work from home, I don't care.
But let's say I didn't, though, and someone called me their work wife. What would your thoughts be on that?
First I would like to meet this person, and feel this person out. See if I can whoop him or not. Even if I can't, I'm gonna try. No, but
oh gosh.
No, for real. I mean, I don't know if I have an issue with it, but it just depends. Like I said, I would definitely have to meet him. And get my own feel and vibe from him. I gotta see if he look better than me. Then we got a problem.
Oh God.
But no, I wouldn't say I would have a problem because I trust you.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Okay.
As long as it don't get out of hand. As long as I have, if I come to your job and your other employees be like, hey, Bob been, they say that that's our work husband, but he been, then I might have a problem with that. Then
Okay.
you know.
Okay. So as long as, to your point, it doesn't cross those bounds.
Yeah, don't cross them bounds. You know, you can say what you want to, but I know you mind. I know you come home to me. You know.
Okay.
And I know ain't nothing going on at the job. So, but since you work from home, I ain't gotta worry about that. So. So let me go on to the next question.
Okay.
All right. Say your partner,
Uh-huh.
you know, loan some money to a family member,
Okay.
either on your side or his side, their side. Is there a problem with that? Them loaning the money without discussing with you, and does the amount that the person loan has something to do with?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so does you have a problem? Would you have a problem with your spouse or your partner just loaning out money first without talking to you?
Yes.
You just
No.
flat out
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Just because I feel that everything that comes into our household is ours, and so therefore everything that goes out needs to be talked about. I also feel as if we're one, right? So I just feel like that communication has to be intact and in
Okay,
peace.
but say, I understand that, but what if, I know you saying we won because we married. What if, you know, somebody's not married who may not think about that way?
Yep.
Is that a problem?
Well, yeah, I would say I would say yes. Now, to each his own, but I would say yes, especially if they're in the same household and they're contributing to the same pot. And then you have one person just, you know, giving out money to a family member and the other person doesn't know, like that's an issue.
Okay.
That could create issues.
So how much is too much? And how much what is the amount that they have to get to in order to let you know, or at least have a conversation with you first?
Honestly, and this may sound very petty and very immature, if you will, but I would prefer that at any amount, it's just talked about. It's just, hey, babe, you know, such and such called and asked could they borrow $10. I gave them $10.
So you hear that? So any of my family members watching, if you ask me for $10, I'm gonna have to run it by my wife first.
Yeah.
Just
because I feel, again, communication. So even if one of my family members came to me and said, I need to borrow, you know, $15, whatever, fine, let me talk to my husband first just to make sure that, you know, he knows, and then I'm sure we'll be able to give you the money.
But okay, for $15.
Yeah.
$15?
Yeah.
Baby, you could spend that on lunch.
But that doesn't matter. It's the principle.
Okay, $15.
It doesn't matter. It's the principle. Like, anything that comes into our household, that's ours, and we need to discuss, you know, when we're loaning people. I don't care the amount. To me, the amount is very minute.
Please tell me your amounts in the comments, because I want to hear this. But okay, say if, all right, does it matter if your partner makes more money than the other? That doesn't matter.
Nope. That to me is not a deciding factor. Like, that to me is null and void, just because, again, everything that you all are bringing into the household is for you in that household.
Okay, so say what if the person has like a side hustle or side gig outside of the 9 to 5 that doesn't impact the house, so the household, you know, for say if they want to loan some money or give somebody some money, that money is just separate. If you got it, it's good, but if you didn't have it, no worries, because you know. But this is their side thing that they make extra money on, so they've had to discuss that with you if they wanted to give out of that pot.
Absolutely. Everything that comes into the house is ours. It's not that, I don't care if you work a side gig outside of your 9 to 5, or if I work a side gig outside of my 9 to 5, all the money that comes into the household is ours.
Okay. How do you feel about that? But yeah. So $5, hey, I need to borrow $5. Can you get it to me?
Absolutely.
And so if somebody came up to your family, came up to you, you had $5 in your pocket. Right there, they asked for $5. So, and I went around.
Yep.
you will want to.
Yeah, hey, give me a second. Let me text my husband, like, just to let him know that I'm going to give you the $5, or call him, whatever. But just so you know, because I wouldn't want to circumvent you, because I don't want you to circumvent me with that.
Okay, I tell you this now, baby. $5 to me.
I understand.
You don't have to text me or call me for $5.
It's just, but that's just me, and that's how I choose to operate. Now, that may be a little different for everyone else out there, but for me, that's just how I choose to operate. And I'm not saying like, hey, let me ask him if I can give you $4. Like, if I have it, it's just to me, it's just, again, the principle, the communication piece.
Right. For me, my amount has got to be anything over $100, and then I need to say something to my spouse. I mean, that's just.
I mean, while I understand that, I do think that could cause issue as well.
Why? Because I mean,
it needs to be talked about. Because again, just like you monitor, and I'm just saying you and I, right? You monitor the account, I monitor the account. We know what's going out, we know what's coming in. I think, if I look in and I see that something went out for $65, $70, I'm like, what is this? Like, it should be discussed. It should be talked about.
So if I have to look at the account and I see, where's this $23 at this restaurant? Why is that? So should I call you and discuss why you spent $23 at a restaurant? When I know you went to lunch or something, or
that's a restaurant. We're talking about loaning people money.
Yeah, but the amount though, that's what I'm talking about. Is just the amount. 20.
No, so you're seeing it as the amount, and I'm seeing it as just the principle.
But so family members, you have to be a restaurant. So if you want money, call, say you a Chipotle.
No, whatever. No. But that's funny because you see it one way while I see it another. And thank God we really hadn't crossed that bridge. I mean, we've had a couple of, people reach out to see if they could borrow money, but we ran that past one another.
Yeah, because it's more than $20, $50. Yeah. That's why.
No, because there was one time where there was like a $40 loan, gift, whatever, and you told me. This person called and asked for $40, and I gave it to him, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Because I knew you. You was gonna ask for the girl.
Yeah, you're right.
Please let us know in the comments what you think about this.
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna move on with I'm gonna call this today's question. So this is gonna be kind of like the question of the week. Okay. Now this is gonna be just for our viewers, so we want you, to chime in with your answers or your comments on today's question. So your partner goes out and buys something very expensive, for themselves, but there was a bill, or maybe bills that were due that they chose not to do instead. Would you say something, or would you just let it go? That is the question. We want to hear from you. Yes. So your partner goes out, buys something very expensive, and you got a bill due or something due, whatever it is, and they didn't tell you. So and you found out about it. Would you say something, or would you just let it ride? Please let us know in the comments.
Very interesting. I can't wait to hear the feedback on that one.
Yeah, and we discussed some of your answers on the next episode, but I want to see what that is.
Yes.
But I'm not going to tell you my answer. I'll tell you my answers next time. But I'm just curious to see what you got to say. But I don't know. But I don't want to discuss it because I don't want to give away my answer. But or let me throw this in it. Does it matter if the gift was for you or the both of you? Does that make a difference? Okay, let us know. And please remember, if you like this content, like what we're saying, what we're doing, please, subscribe, like, share, and please comment. We would love to hear from you.
Yes, we would.
And with that, we're gonna end the show, but we want to leave y'all with something encouraging. So we're gonna just give you something just to encourage you and hope you have a blessed week by it. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to my lovely wife, Lakeisha.
Okay, so the encouraging scripture for the week comes from First Corinthians chapter 16 and verse 14, and it reads, "Let all that you do be done in love."
In love. Not hate, but love. It's come from the good book
Yes.
of First Corinthians. And if you was our former president, one Corinthians. No. No, let me start that. I want this no political. Hey, don't hit me with the comments.
Yes.
It's just something. Never mind. We're gonna go on from that.
Right.
First
Corinthians 16,
16
and 14.
Let all that you do be done with love.
Yes.
Again, thanks for watching, and remember, God
God loves you, and so do we.
All right, till next time.
Talk to you later.